This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are back in action tonight as they look to find a third consecutive win for the first time this season. Utah comes to town for the first time as the Mammoth, and fresh off a win in Buffalo. And the Mammoth quietly sit tied for second in the entire Western Conference, something nobody expected. Now, for the Leafs, changes are expected in the lineup, as Oliver Ekman-Larsson will overtake power play 1 duties from Morgan Riley. Riley has a solid 9 points in 12 games, but none of those have come on a power play. Elsewhere in the Leafs lineup, Ethan Cowan, Sammy Blais, and Cal Yarncrook are expected to lead the Leafs lineup, while Steven Lorentz and Mateus Michelli re-enter. Meanwhile, Scott Laughton is expected to make his season debut. So that's a crowded forward group for the Leafs.
Competition, but yeah, there's a lot of guys. But we got Lorenz and Laughton could be good to go tomorrow. So, like I said, that's great. And again, it's decisions that we have to make night in and night out with the lineup. And, it's never easy. Nobody wants to sit out. They all want to play all the time. But reality is that's not going to happen. But in saying that, everybody's still important. They're all still important, and they got to understand that there's going to be games where certain guys maybe don't play, and there's different reasons. But we still need everybody. That's the message for me.
Of the Leafs' 15 forwards, 6 have been a healthy scratch for at least one game, while the boys in the bubble would like a little more consistency. We don't expect this game of musical chairs to end anytime soon. And speaking of rotating seats, we recently sat the Leafs down in a detective's chair and gave them some fun clues, and got them to try to guess which of their teammates we selected as their mystery teammate. Let's take a look.
At 12 years old, your mystery teammate posted a YouTube titled Naughty Backhand.
Naughty Backhand.
This is fantastic. I'm going to go with Nicey off the start.
Naughty Backhand. 12 years old. Yeah, I have no clue.
I would say Waller maybe, but he's a goalie.
I mean, I could absolutely see this being Willie.
I don't know why I'm going for Lots on that one. This feels like a Scott Laughton thing to do.
I don't know. I would go between these two. I could see Amat saying that as well. Naughty backhand, and he does have a naughty backhand.
Naughty Backhand. Willie, Nicey, Cowboy are my number 1 suspects right now.
I would say my D partner, Benny.
Nick Robertson, maybe another guy.
Robbie is in it.
Bobby McMahon's a sneaky suspect too.
Out of all the Media Day content, no bias, but Bardown does the best. Now, gentlemen, one of my favorites to talk hockey and bets. It's Megan Chaika. Great to see you, Megan.
Always nice to see you, Marissa.
All right, this question might be a little biased on my part, but the numbers tell me that this Leafs team is as good or maybe even better than they were at this time last year. But my eyes tell me that they miss Mitch Marner. What are your thoughts on this Leafs squad?
Who wouldn't miss Mitch Marner, one of the best playmakers in the league? And that's why there's an adjustment period for the Leafs. I'm looking at defense, not just offense, to be an issue. 3.62 versus 2.979 for goals against. So they actually have worse goals against this season than last season. And they're really struggling to get high-quality chances. Their scoring chances last season were 20th in the league. So that's not good. But this year, they're 28th in the league, one of the worst at getting high-quality shot attempts. And where they're really struggling is getting the goaltending moving and east-west passes to set up shots. So even though the Leafs have a lot of volume still, they're missing out on quality, and that's a big problem for me.
Okay, so I feel like that validates my tweets. I love any type of vindication. Looking at the futures market, are there any buy low value bets that stick out to you?
The Leafs to win the division. I still like them because at 28th in scoring chances per game, I think there's some regression there. The Leafs could get up mid-pack and win some of those one-goal games. They're well within range to pull ahead, and there's no clear team in that division that's going to break out. So the Leafs, a little adjustment and a good November, well, they could be just on their way.
You know what? Even if you're wrong, I could hedge emotional. Time now for my favorite segment on yours, so we love sports today.
Why we love sports today.
And there's nothing like a great teammate to lift you up. I mean, I would know outside of my producer Christopher Hine trying to sewer me on every FanDuel Fast Facts. He's a good guy. And lifting up a teammate is exactly what Pelicans rookie Derek Queen had happen to him right here.
What does it say about your teammates, the confidence that they have in you?
Stand up, Queen. Stand up, Queen.
Bro, everybody ignoring him.
Hell no, bro. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
No. Everybody ignoring him.
Hold on. Stand up, bro. You gotta stand up. You can't let him hovering over you. Come on, stand up, dog. You big dog. You had 12, 8, and 7 tonight. Don't sit down. You gotta stand on that.
I do interviews, DJ.
Yeah, stand up. There you go. Right on. That's your presence you felt up in here, dog.
That's veteran leadership right there.
There you go.
There was some of that on the court tonight, especially like
Wait, why is he so precious when he was sitting and then when he stood, he wasn't sure anymore? To the NFL, we're now joined by one of the many Canadians making a name for himself in the league. Benjamin St-Juste of the LA Chargers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
The Chargers are now 6-3, sitting second in the AFC West. A game behind the Broncos, but a game up on the Chiefs. Is this the best division in football?
I would say so, honestly. It started off hot, and then every team in our division been winning like a lot of games like consecutively. So Broncos are hot, Chiefs are hot. Started off a little slow, Started off with a loss against us in Brazil, so that was big. But yeah, it's gonna come down to the wire. Like late December football, there's gonna be some great football being played in our division.
You're playing for one of the best, but also one of the most intense coaches in the NFL in Jim Harbaugh. So is he as crazy as all the stories we hear?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would say like I used to be like, you know what? No, maybe he's just like a normal coach, but this is my second time like being with him because actually Coach Harbaugh recruited me out of Canada when I was 16. That was my first full scholarship to go to the University of Michigan when he was the head coach there. And he was a little bit like, whoa, okay, like it's kind of, I'm hearing some stories and I'm kind of seeing like what's happening. But to reconnect with him 8 years later in NFL, he's still the same old Jim, but it works. As long as it works and we're winning games, that's his way to go about it, and I'm all in with it.
All right, but come on, man, you got to give us a story.
So the first one I would say was back in like 2017, first week I got to Michigan. He invited us to his house, all of the recruits, and then randomly my younger brother who was like 10 years old. He was like, "Is that your younger brother? Okay, yeah, bring him in. Let's go to our house. Let's go eat." And then our dinner was one piece of steak. Everybody had one piece of steak and a big glass of milk. That was his like 5-star meal. That was his go-to meal. A big piece of filet mignon and a full glass of milk. He was like, "That's all you need to be a good football player." And it was like we took a pictures, all the recruits, and then at the end of the table we have my little brother that's like 10 years old that has no idea like what's going on. He's just there at the table. So that was my first crazy Jim Harbaugh story.
I love that your brother's just there like, "Please, can I get some chicken fingers and fries? What is this?"
Yeah, he's like, chicken fingers and fries, that'll be good. But
now you're joining us on behalf of NFL Canada and their Forward Pass initiative, as they will be providing 3 community football programs $25,000 to help more kids play tackle and touch football. When you see how many Canadians are coming into the NFL and playing well, what does the future look like for Canadians in the NFL thanks to programs like this?
I mean, those are the programs that we need, honestly. Growing up, I always like to compare how I grew up, playing football back home in Canada to how it is now. And the strides that we made and the progress is tremendous. And it's because of programs like that. We see here in the United States how much, resources and financial resources that's available and poured into communities. So I think Canada is trying to do the same thing because we see that we have the talent. We started with maybe 1 to 2 players, maybe reaching the NFL to like maybe now we're like 13, 15 players from Canada that play in the NFL. So the results are there. So the fact that NFL Canada is able to put in place that Forward Pass program, and then these communities can use the funds to get equipment, rent football fields, and get the schedule together and all that stuff, we're probably going to see maybe 2-3 more Canadians in the NFL because of that from each program.
Benjamin, what a pleasure to meet you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
For more on the program, just go to nfl.com/ca/forwardpass. Or if you're watching us on Insta, just click the link below. And just a reminder, you can watch Benjamin St-Juste and the Chargers take on the Steelers this Sunday on TSN, 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific. That's it for me today. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 3 Eastern. No Pacific! Have a good one.